12:40. I'm a little bit pissed off. And when I say a little bit, I mean I'm really pissed off. But that's not the point. The point of this video is construction stories. And I'm not going to turn this into one of those stupid vlogs that tons of people have where all they do is whine about their relationships with other people because they don't have healthy relationships with themselves. Construction stories, part 62. Let's go with I don't know. Thunder Rumble. So, I may have talked about this earlier in different videos, but it's wet where I work, and there's a lot of rain where I work, and a lot of times rain comes with stuff like thunder and lightning, and when you have lightning in close proximity with an entire like an acre or so of stuff that's just pure metal, and people walking around with metal things, and everything's covered in water, it can be a pretty dangerous place. So, what I was doing tonight is I go inside of the pontoon, inside of one of the big cell squares, and I get inside of a lift, and I go up, 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 and then I stop about 30 feet from the floor, and then I have to rip out this wood stuff that's on the side of a wall. And the thing about being in a lift is you're really high up. And also, the lift is made out of metal. And also, the things you're working with are made out of metal. So, when I was walking up to the shack, in order to get, I think, a wrench, in order to get a spud wrench, when I was walking up to the shack in order to get a spud wrench, and I heard maybe a 10-second long thunder rumble, I got kind of uncomfortable, because while lightning strikes are relatively rare, that doesn't lessen the fact that when you get hit, you usually die. So, I was concerned. And they have this thing where if somebody sees lightning, everybody has to go inside and sit in their shack for a half hour. And I think that that's pretty cool. And if another lightning flash happens within that half hour, then the half hour counter is reset. If it happens enough times, then they just send everybody home. And if it just happens once and stops, they go back to work. So we went and sat, and then we went back to work. And yeah, that's one thing. Another thing that happened was one of the carpenter guys, he did something. I forget. But I was working on my thing, on my bulkhead. I was just tearing that apart. And it wasn't coming so hot because it's kind of difficult to do. And it's even more difficult to do quickly. And because it was raining and I'm trying to get wood out, that means that the wood swelled up with the water. And so that just made it harder. But, you know, whatever. I was doing it, and one of the bosses came up top and was shining his light down and looking at it, and basically I wasn't going fast enough for him, which was funny because I was going pretty fast until I hit that specific spot, and then he came and started watching. And he was like throwing advice down at me, and I was like, I'll do that. And then he got kind of, it's not going fast enough, and came down and was like, is this yours? Will this help? I'm like, yeah. Is this yours? Will it help? Yeah. And I'm up in the lift, and he's on the ground. And then get down here and get your fucking tools. Yes, sir. Went down, grabbed the tools. I put them in the lift, and then he's right outside the door, and he's like, here, take this. It's a MAN hammer. I'm like, wait, man, oh, okay. And it's basically this 4 or 5 pound hammer with a really thick handle. And he's like, yeah, take this. And it's a big old bar about this long and for added leverage. And that helps. The hammer and the bar really helped. And he just kind of jacked him out of somebody else's box. So, I mean, I wouldn't have done that because it wasn't my box. But he had the authority. So I was just kind of played along. And so I got back in the lift, got back to work, and I got like half of it done. So, whoop-de-doo. And then my foreman came in and was like, yeah, you want to stay late? I was like, nope, I'll go home. I'm going home. Bye. And so I went home. But about 2/3 of the way down, I started really, you know the MAN hammer? That's like the man hammer. That's like 5 pounds, right? Or whatever. I don't know how much it was. But it's pretty heavy. And when you start swinging that, your wrist, like up here and right here, get really sore really quick. And you're boom, boom, boom. And I had to switch hands and was going. And it reached that point where you're like working out. And you're like, I just can't. I literally can't do it. But then it was like a work thing where it's like, you have to do this. And there was nobody around. But I was there and I knew that I had to do that, so I just kept going. And I don't want to say it's a mind over matter thing, because that's kind of stupid. But it was definitely, it was me pushing my boundaries because it was what was required of me. And, I don't know. It was kind of weird. But my arms really hurt. And I'm really tired, and again, I am pissed off. So I'm going to go take a shower, and I'm going to go to sleep. I hope you have a better night than I did. And it was raining the whole night, so yeah. Anyways, good night, guys. Have a good one.